Hello and welcome. Let's check out a stack of packs from the 1991 Upper Deck NFL Football Series. This is a premier edition with some special Joe Montanas in there and some very cool hologram inserts among some great players and great history. So here's our stack. Let's open up the first one and take the journey together to see what is inside. All right, it looks like we are starting out with a Joe Montana Football Heroes card, the 1988 rematch. So that's a neat one. There's a lot of cool Joe Montanas in this one. John Stevens, we have his MVP card. Chris Hinton. Mark Bavaro. Wes Hopkins, Wayne Haddix, Dan Majkowski. And they have these cards oriented sometimes upside down or all around, so I wonder if that's part of their planned adventure. Louise Sharp, another Chris Hinton, and we got Roy Green. Flip this one, Carl Meckenberg, and a star rookie, Charles McRae. All right, we are now in, and these are made of like a, it's that like, almost like strong aluminum type, where they hold their shape if you move them. So they're very sturdy packs. So when I open them, I want to be careful not to pull too hard, because it could easily mess up corners and such with the force that you're opening it with. Other packs just kind of pull easy. Tom Rothman, Pat Swilling. Here we got Sam Mills, Jesse Tuggle, Michael Irvin of the Cowboys, Tommy Kane. We got Brian Blades, Steve Wisniewski, Steve Walsh, Gary Anderson, Ernest Biner, and Russell Maryland, the star rookie. There we go. Onward to the next one. All right, let's not mess up whatever this is. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy. Ernest Biner. Otis Anderson on the Giants. Torrey Epps on the Falcons. Seth Joyner. Bert Grossman. Here we got Pat Beach. And quarterback Bubby Brister. Jimmy Jones from the Cowboys. Simon Fletcher. Rich Camarillo, Jim Lachey, and star rookie Mike Crowell. All right. Moving onward. We are almost halfway through, I think. Soon. If not this one, then soon. Here we have Carl Meckenberg, Dennis Bird, Hobie Brenner, Mike Rosier, Jay Novacek, Jeff Langman, Vi Sikahima, Freeman McNeil, Tony Bennett, Mark Bortz, Tom Rothman, and Mike Dumas, star rookie. And they include their collegiate uniforms on those cards. So we are now right in the middle of the hunt. We have our fifth pack now. I'm looking for a hologram, looking for a Joe Montana signature. And we're starting out with Keith Jackson, Chet Brooks, Irvin Randall, Vinny Testaverde. Let's see if I can get in a little closer here. Might make it easier to check all these out. Merrill Hodge. Here's a collector flash 80 Jerry Rice, San Francisco 49ers, the collector's choice. That is great. Always nice to get a Jerry Rice. Kenneth Davis, Neil Anderson. Here we have Lemuel Stinson, Vince Buck, Mervin Fernandez, and I think there's something cool. First we have Jeff George, and behind that I think you see what I see. But first, Jeff George, and then behind that, Emmitt Smith, Game Breakers hologram card. There we go. Very, very cool. Let's see if we can give him some extra action here. Nice. All right, there you go. He's in motion. Awesome. What a way to end that pack. So as we turn the corner with a great hologram, we were just talking about holograms. So you know what? Let's talk about Joe Montana signatures. What do you say? Would be cool to get a Joe Montana signature. What do you think? Maybe it'll work. Albert Lewis, Dwayne Harper, Lewis Billups, Drew Hill, Ricky Prohl, Collector's Choice, LT, Lawrence Taylor, New York Giants. Very cool. Huge impact player. Jay Schroeder, Boomer Esiason, team MVP. And we got David Wyman, Seahawks, Mike Singletary of the Bears, and Fred Young, linebacker on the Colts. And our last card is Derek Thomas, Collector's Choice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Cruising along, we dive into our next one here. Let's be careful with these corners. And out we go with Billy Ray Smith, Don Griffin, Keith McCants, Eugene Lockhart, Tim McDonald, and a collector's choice of Al Toon, New York Jets. We have James Hasty, also of the Jets, Eric Metcalf, Lee Williams on the Chargers, Ruben Mays coming in for the Saints. Next up, Stephon Page, and lastly, Anthony Miller, collector's choice of the San Diego Chargers. We are down to our last two packs, riding the high of that Emmitt Smith hologram, and I think the LT collector's choice was in there too. That's awesome. Lawrence Taylor, big impact player. Cortez Kennedy. We have Pat Leahy, kicker for the Jets. Jim Arnold, kicker, or is that punter, for the Lions. Thought we had kickers back to back. Clyde Simmons. And we got prime time collector's choice Deion Sanders of the Atlanta Falcons. Chris Miller, also of the Falcons. Next up, Thurman Thomas, team MVP, coming in for the Bills. Jeff Bryant, defensive end. Dennis Gentry of the Bears. Here we got Phil Simms, New York Giants quarterback, and Troy Aikman, Cowboys quarterback. And let's go, two cool quarterbacks, and check out what's behind it. Another Emmitt Smith hologram. There we go. He wants to be here, following up Troy Aikman. Look at that, back-to-back Cowboys. What a way to finish that pack. There's only one way to finish this stack of packs. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, maybe we will finish strong with something special from Joe Montana. Who knows? If not, we've already had an amazing opening. We have Dexter Carter, Gerald Williams, Bruce Armstrong, and the kicker, Steve Christie, Billy Ray Smith coming in from the Chargers. We have Collector's Choice, Randall Cunningham, number 12. And Scott Davis, Andre Rison, Tony Page, Mort Anderson, and Pepper Johnson. And lastly, Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins, Collector's Choice quarterback card. What a way to end it. I am super excited with what we found. I'll just slide these over here. And there you have it, a look into a stack of packs from the 91 Upper Deck Football NFL Premier Edition. Great cards, really good feel in the hand. They look great, really enjoyable to open. So I hope you had some fun, hope you learned something, and there you have it. Until next time.